All right, you groovy, and I do mean groovy grasshoppers. It is Thursday morning, 10 o'clock. Okay, let's get right at it. So, obviously, we've announced that Pepper and the family, that dog next to us, the nemesis, arch nemesis, has left. So now they've replaced that with tree trimmers, trimming trees. So now, let's get right at it too. So if you voice your Deb, how are you doing, you magical creature? Magical creature. I think I saw you. Did you post a picture of you and your son? Was it that you posted? Handsome dude. I think that's who it was. Susan Brooks, you next magical creature. Susan Brooks goes to any kind of sporting event. You know, I give Kenny Albert a hard time because he can announce any sport whatsoever. Mimsy, how are you? But Susan's the same way. She was at a minor league baseball game on the other. Mimsy, you magical creature. Yep, that was your son, handsome dude. Oh, you sexy bald God. You know, I'm not technically bald, I don't think. Do you call yourself bald? I mean, his hair up there, it's just kind of tin. It's tin. Lorraine, how are you? Magical creatures. The magical creatures are back in town. So is this like, so it's Tracy, she's not here yet or hasn't made a comment yet. So she's been calling me like a Karen because I voiced my opinion on these, the noise from my truck, the noise from the dogs, the noise from the tree trimmers. Is that a Karen? Like a Karen's more somebody that starts complaining about things when there's no, you don't really have the right to complain. Let me see. My tech issues were last week have all been taken care of. My NVIDIA stock keeps exploding. So good day. Good job, Jack. All right. We got everything taken care of. Where's Susan here? I think I've seen her saying she has to leave early. I'm leaving early to go to Yankees game. You're leaving this show early. So the Yankees are more important. The last place Yankees are soon to be last place. No, we didn't. Rest in peace, Pepper. Yeah, Pepper. I don't think Pepper passed away. The moving truck was there. It was all I could do to not stand up and cheer. It's terrible. The family gone through a lot of stuff lately, so I should be like that. Let me see. Tom's uncle is Larry David. Okay, you're gonna have to explain. You some explaining to do there, Lucy. Get some explaining. Everybody watch the old Lucille Ball show with Desi Arnaz. Lucy, you got some explaining to do. And they have wasn't he a singer in a nightclub or something? They lived in no, that wasn't Lucy. Lived in New Rochelle, was it? No. Huh. Let's see. Hold on, Karen. Deb's explaining. Karen wants to see the manager. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so I don't want to see the manager. I'm not asking for anybody else to solve the issue. I'm going to go solve it myself, for God's sakes. Let me see here. Empathy. That's Mr. Empathy. You look up empathy in the dictionary. My picture is there. Carla is here. Susan Brooks, who's your favorite Yankee past or present? Well, Deb, be careful what you wish for. The new name is yeah, you know what? I did think of that, Deb. Who knows what? Hold on. Newsflash. Drop everything. Get the truck fixed. VIP is coming to town. Yeah, Mike Rogers is coming to town. Yeah, so the car will be fixed. Hopefully the car is done today. It's a mystery. So here's the mystery. So 99% of the time you drive along, there's no problems at all. Running fine. New engine, refurbished engine in there. All good, right? But there's just this certain times you get this grinding noise. The mechanic, who I have total faith in, thinks there's some metal in the somewhere in the the transfer case where it's got that full-time 4-wheel drive. So he's attempting to fix that. So yes, good morning, Larry. Man, it's gonna be okay. So here's how it goes, right? So like Larry wants me. He's got me chasing down. He's got a buddy coming into town, so he's got me chasing down tickets for him. It's like, and then like Larry wanted to stay like a week here. I said, Larry, we kill each other. You cannot stay a week. Hey, Melly, smelly Melly. Oh, that's right. If he wears perfume in the house here, oh man, that just doesn't work. Nobody's allowed to wear perfume in this house. Hope Larry understands that there's no air conditioning, no cable TV. All right, we're minimalist here. We minimalize. Minimalist. That's a pretty good word. Susan Brooks' favorite players, Jorge Posada and Bobby Mercer. Okay. She knows her stuff too. That's the thing. Susan just doesn't go to events. Like she understands the events, the people in it, uh, everything. She's an educated woman. Alexis Lafreniere has been signed. 2-year bridge deal. Will he get more playing time with Peter Lamb? Well, that's up to him. I think, first overall pick in the draft. So I'm sure management, Lavalette understands this. I don't think he has a discussion with Chris Drury. They have to win, but his job is to develop. That's all players or all coaches is to develop these young players. But again, that's a lot on the player side too. Like I said before, I think coaches get way too much credit when they win. They get way too much blame when they lose. The player has to, especially as they get older, the player has to step up and do the work and be mentally tough enough. Like I just felt like, and again, from a distance, I just felt like something was off. Obviously, last year, particularly in the playoffs, with those 3 young players that they're counting on for the future, and they have to, again, management has to work with them, but the players really have to get it going themselves too. So here we go. My AC went out in my Yukon, and we've had triple digit. Oh, that's right too. Keep those windows open. I know. Yeah, that's tough. That's right. You guys have really had some tough. We've had fall days around here. It's been dry air, fairly cool. Hopefully it gets really hot when Mel gets here. No air conditioning, no cable TV. Rob and Laura Petrie of Dick Van Dyke lived in a show. That's right. They did, certainly. That's right. The Petries. New Rochelle. I'll never forget when I came to New York. It's like, because I used to watch that show all the time. It's like, wow, there's New Rochelle. New Rochelle. That's Rochelle Melnick. New Rochelle. There was only one Rochelle. Saint of a woman. Man, why did she make that decision? Now, that's Tommy's favorite was Manny Sanguian. It was actually. He was one of my favorites. Those old Pittsburgh Pirates from back in the 80s, 70s, 80s with Willie Stargell. We are family. There's a piece of advice right there from Carla. That's I think that is true though. Keep those windows open. Yeah. You should take Larry to play at Bethpage Black. They had the U.S. Open there a few years ago, public course, and a mile from me. Well, I don't go near golf courses unless it's an event that I go to. Giant waste of property. You should have farms there or grow your own foods so it's closer to the people. I was approached by a guy out of Calgary, Alberta. I don't know whatever happened to it. He was going to build farms, like what do they call it, where they grow the food in the water, aqua. It's aqua farm. I don't know what it was. And they're going to do it in buildings because a lot of the buildings were not occupied in downtown Calgary because the oil industry is kind of slowed down. Pretty cool idea, I thought. And then because there's less, you think of all the shipping that you don't have to do because it's grown right in the city. I don't know whatever happened. I think there's one in New Jersey someplace that's doing that. Yes, Jackie's wedding is Saturday. Better get my truck back by then. I'm just pricing out Ubers if I have to take an Uber there. She's not getting one gift if I have to take it. I'm just kidding. No. There'll be no golf courses. I have actually zero desire to be on a golf course. Like I have fun when we go to these tournaments. I drive around the cart. But making fun of people, but like the whole golf etiquette thing, you're gonna be very quiet. Where guys like start lecturing you because you're going too slow or whatever. Well, like that. Wally Thacker. There's the man from Coquitlam, British Columbia. Buddy of Larry Melnick's. Well, I guess that's not fair to call you a buddy of Larry Melnick. You know him, right? That's not fair to your reputation to say that you're friends with Larry Melnick. Lorraine, you crazy creature. Tom, are those salary history things accurate? I'd like to see what the Kings were paying you in 1990, and it said $260,000. Imagine what you make today, $7 million. That's a little light. I tell a story. It's awful because Rogie Vachon was a great guy. He was a general manager, very like a real gentleman, quiet guy, and everything like that. He was a really good man. But Bruce McNall was running the team at the time and owning the team at the time. And if we didn't like what we were getting from Rogie, we'd just go to Bruce. And I never forget, Bruce said to me one time, I think it was the contract, that last contract. I went in and he said, so what do you want? I told him what I wanted. He said, okay, we get that done. Now we found out later that it wasn't all his money anyways. But That's a great question. Probably go. I'm not a tie guy, so this is summer. Should really go with a black suit, although I feel comfortable with a black suit. Big question is, got a nice pair of cowboy boots. That's your ostrich boots. Got them in Nashville when I was there last. I used to wear cowboy boots in my suits all the time. Pretty cool. I like that. I may just go with that. Tom Caddy is a great workout. Yeah, I'm getting lots of workouts. Thank you, though, Carla. I appreciate your pointing that out. You're correct. It is a good workout. Yeah, really. Like tennis, like you can't talk or anything like during the guys serving. But what's that all about? You can't concentrate more than that. Now, okay, so one time we had the scuffed up shoes. Those got polished. And actually, I got to get those resold. Those are nice shoes. I didn't realize they're from Italy. Italy. Can you imagine that? Probably let's wear shoes from Italy. So the soles needed some work, so I took them to the local shoe place. Been there before. Get some other shoes fixed up. So you're in good shape. Loose cannon. What's happening, you loose cannon? You Selly Salt girls are back. We're gonna make that. I'd like to see someday have that in going to Costco and see Selly Salt up on the shelves there. There's some other salt there, kind of the same kind of thing. Oh, hey George, what's happening? Good to see you. Schlereth Junior. That means there's another one of those. Let me see. All the people on the show are going to autograph those cowboy boots. No. So I did a podcast with this woman, as a real estate woman. I can't remember her name anyways. I had the boots on. She was very complimentary of the boots. I like wearing my cowboy boots. I used to have a lot of them. I don't know when I kind of got away from wearing cowboy boots, but love wearing them. Wear one of your vintage 70s suits. Oh, Diggeruski. That was a Diggeruski right there, bro. Carla Sherman. Let me see here. Mel has a pair of baby blue golf shorts she can wear. Oh, no. Yeah, that's the whole thing too. Like guys who wear stuff on a golf course that they would never normally wear. Like what's with all like the pink pants and the shirt with the collar turned up and a little belt with a whale on it and all that kind of stuff. What is that? Like seriously, guys lose their manhood when they go on a golf course. Don't they? I'd have a pair of cowboy boots on instead. Is that true? I think about like especially men going on a golf course. It's like, okay, I'm not a man anymore. I'm going to go golfing. And I'm going to wear all these clothes that I would never normally wear. Laura Petrie, Mary Tyler Moore was so hot back then. How did I love her? Wow, did I love her? Dick, he's still alive at 97, drives car still. Oh, cool. That's cool. Let me see here. Me and Larry are taking shopping for online dating clothes. All right. Get some pink pants. Or get like those plaid pants they wear too, right? And they pull them up to their nipples too when they're going golfing. It's like that guy that dances. You ever see those on reels? This guy, I think he's Russian or something like that. He does bad body. He's always got the shirt off and he's got his pants pulled way up. I can't tell whether he thought or he still thinks he's a good dancer or not. And a lot of women are doing a video like of them watching him dance and they're just cringing. So I can't. He's really popular. Look at all the numbers. How it's just taken off. Everybody's watching. I don't know if he thinks people are watching it because he's a great dancer or they're laughing at him. I don't know what it is, but he's getting attention. We're gonna do a video of Mal dancing when he's here too, in the heat, all sweaty and everything. Oh yeah. Yeah, someday in Costco. Absolutely, that's our goal. Let me see. You know that he probably still has them in his closet. Yeah. Salmon, not pink. Oh, yeah. So like you can call it salmon, and it's really pink. The whole thing, like the shirt turned up and everything like that. It's probably Ira, right? When he goes golfing, and he's got a pair of plaid pants, and then like the shoes too. Like you get rid of white shoes, little tassels on them, the whole bit. All right, the patterns. Oh, that's right. I'm gonna take pictures of Mel. I think he's probably gonna go golfing. Hopefully, he goes golfing all the time. Maybe we can stay at the golf course. What do we got here by the great Susan Brooks? Will you go off your diet and enjoy cocktail hour, food at the weddings, pigs in a blanket. Oh, no pigs in a blanket. No. I usually don't. No, I don't. Yeah, maybe. No. We go to the events all the time. They always have that food. They usually have like your healthy alternatives too. But we do not. I don't believe in cheat days. You work so hard. Well, I don't even call it working hard, but you take care of your body by the things you put in it. Why all of a sudden, like you're rewarding yourself with bad food? It just doesn't make any sense to me. But yeah, the belt, white belt, and it's got the little whales on it too, right? That's the thing. Men wouldn't normally wear them. Maybe they would, but I wouldn't recommend it. Normally wear those clothes unless they go on the golf course. And all of a sudden, it's like all man etiquette goes out the window. What's Jackie Boy got here today? Jackie Smith, back in the 90s, 80s, right? He told a Dick Van Dyke joke. He said, Dick Van Dyke, you don't know what he is today. No issues. Oh, I see. I get you. Yeah. Yes. Let me see. Did you see the scene in the movie Hall Pass where the guy takes a dump in the sand trap? Former team was like to do this. That's a great question. What former teammate is most likely to take a dump? I'd have to say, oh man, who would do that? Well, we've lost him. I was gonna say Mark Pavlovich. That's not right to say. We've lost him. He's that outdoorsy. I say that, but he's an outdoorsy kind of guy. I guess I'd be the one that would be Gotsy. Gotsy would do it. That's right, Jack. Oh, that's right, Gotsy. Loafers. Yeah, I have never worn loafers, and I will not be wearing loafers. I had a girl I dated. She always wanted me to dress like that. Greenwich girl. No. No. Golf, an excuse to legally drink and drive. Yeah, well, that's another thing. Yeah, I guess it's a great thing for business. So a lot of guys have, golf courses. They entertain clients all the time, and yeah. Yeah, we're doing some dancing. I'm gonna dance like that guy with his pants pulled up and no shirt on. The Russian guy. I'm sure you guys have seen it. You gotta go on where's it, Instagram Reels, and it's more like he's doing more and more now. And again, the women do some really funny ones where they're again pretending they're watching him dance and they're just mortified. But I'd like to get him on the show, like do a podcast, like find out like does he really think he's like sexy or is he doing it being funny? Because he's into it too. He's got the arms swinging a whole bit. Yes. Okay, so they had a debate last night. The Republicans had a debate. No Donald Trump. Do you guys even pay attention to those debates? Like I don't get how they really think there's got to be some backstory why they have them so much. Because if we're making our opinions based on who we get as president on a debate, then we're in trouble. That's what I think. That's my feeling. But again, the more and more I go, I do believe, not to get into politics too much, it really doesn't matter who the president is. Big money makes the decisions, and that's whether it's a Republican or a Democrat. Let's see, Jackie Boy. Tom, what Donald Rodney Caddyshack can go for a seat, a beer tap in his golf. That's a good movie, right? Oh, that was funny. Rodney Dangerfield. Let me see here. I was watching Aaron Judge hit 3 home runs. Oh, did he hit 3 home runs? Wow. And he makes a huge difference in that team. Oh, man, he's out. Laidlaw Cotsey. No, Ira. Nope. No. I actually was going to get involved in politics here locally when I was living in Port Chester, New York. I was going to get involved. I said, but listen, I'm not going to be like, I told them, I said, I'm not going to be like a regular politician. And where I lived, the zip code was, you could either have zip code as Rybrook or Port Chester. So I had on my website for business purposes that it was Rybrook is more of a business friendly kind of town. And they were like, oh, you got to change that. You got to change that. You got to change it to Port Chester. I said, no, I'm not going to do that. And they said, well, it's not politically correct or something. I said, well, okay, that's my political career is over with. No longer was participating in that. Being a politician. I have a good friend of mine, actually, that was a mayor of Harrison, New York. he actually did a pretty good job of not being like a politician. He called himself an elected official. I think he did a pretty good job. What else is going on in the world here today? I was looking at the news. That was it. So the guy that was putting together the coup against Putin in Russia, just miraculously died in a plane crash. It's odd that happened. And the Kremlin and Putin are not saying anything about that. Oh, yeah, I thought they'd come out and say, oh, yeah, we shot him down. So, again, I think I mentioned this to you guys. I've been going over doing those reels, following those reels, especially on Instagram. I guess that's where it is, Instagram. And man, you can go down the rabbit hole there, get involved in all the conspiracy theories, how the fire started. Although I'll tell you, the fires in Maui, I mean, they turned all the stories about they turned off the water, they didn't sound the alarms. One of the things they said was I think it was the mayor said if they'd sounded alarms, everybody would have gone back to their homes. Well, I think people are smart enough to look and see that their home is on fire and that they won't go back to their home. So I don't quite understand that logic, but Canada has a lot of parties, right, Tom? Is it better or worse? Larry seems to love Justin Trudeau. Yeah, you know what, honestly, I was so young when I left. I really wasn't paying attention to politics at all. I don't pay attention to politics now here either. So, but a little different system in Canada. Very liberal right now. Yeah, a lot of people. Theron Fleury, I guess, is making a lot of noise that he wants Trudeau, the prime minister, to resign. Okay, let me see. Let's try to figure this out. HTTJYYG, my. Oh, my goodness, Ira. You crazy man. You're just a crazy guy. So I actually like that. Like, if I'm a politician, why do I feel like I need to go to these debates? I just don't get the whole concept of it. But I guess too much. What else is going on? There's something I wanted to plane crash and kill. Explained. Swimmable cities, a climate solution. Rethinking access to waterways. Oh, interesting. Let me see, Deb, what you got going here? Ira is Ira. Nice, Deb. Nice, Deb. Yeah, what is he? See, again, like the fact, like usually if you make a mistake like that, or maybe there's some code to that. Hi, Tom. Hi, Tom, Tracy, Joe, Yvette. But then the my thing at the end, right? Hi, Tom, Tracy, Joe, Young, Yeller, go, my. Huh. Yeah, really. I think he's been drinking already. It's Thursday morning. He would be. But maybe that, the nonprofit that he works for. All right. Let's see here. Debates are essential, especially mass ones. Think about it, Thomas. Debates are essential, especially mass ones. Like mass meaning as big or like masses in church. Man, I was like vague. Think about it. Man, I have thought about it a lot. I just don't see it. I think it's another way for sell advertising, another way for the network to make money. But not my problem. Debates. Let me see here. Jack, Tom, do you still use kilometers? Is it confusing for Canadians? No. So no, I don't use kilometers. So in fact, yeah, I've been here so long. Remember, I've been here since I was 18 years old in the States. So yeah, that's actually the other way around. When I go back to Canada, they obviously are using kilometers and the speed signs and everything. So it's roughly 2/3. So 100 miles an hour is roughly like 66 something miles an hour, 65 in that category. And then the temperature too is so Celsius. It's basically so to figure out what it is in Celsius. It's I can't remember. You take the Celsius, you multiply by 2 and add 30. So if like 10 degrees Celsius is 50 degrees Fahrenheit, roughly. That's how we used it, anyways. So I assume like Larry, yeah, I was having a tough time. Do you okay, Ira? Did you eat enough? Like, make sure I know you're losing weight, but you got to eat enough that you've got energy for your brain. Right? Apparently, you didn't eat enough, or maybe you ate too much, or maybe you ate bad food or something because your brain's not functioning properly today. This here is a mystery. It really makes me worry about you, especially you haven't tried to explain it. That's kind of worried about you. All right, so maybe so. Let's get right at it here. So Tracy's not here, so maybe she feels like she's kind of like Donald Trump, right? Like Trump doesn't show up for the debate last night. Tracy's the same way; she just doesn't show up. Remember how it was a big push? Like she was so like wanting to get on the show, begging to get on the show, basically, and trying to get around the show. I don't think that she's shy. I think I don't know what it is. She thinks she's too good. Like, Donald Trump thinks she's too good for the debate. Maybe, Tracy thinks she's too good for the show. But the rest, everybody else is loyal, right? Jack, Ira, Deb, Lorraine, everybody. Man, sorry if I missed anybody. But Tracy's just there. Oh, I thought you two were tied at the hip. Now you're talking about it behind the back. Wow. Let's think. Yes, looks like Otani may need a second Tommy John surgery. Has 20 ACL. Pitching or just become a hitter only. It seems like the surgery has been a success. There was a Yankee pitcher a few years ago. Wasn't he Japanese? And he chose not to have the surgery. And it seemed like he came out of it okay. Yeah. I just go by the rules. I mean, if you can avoid surgeries, although again, the surgeries have gotten so much better. That used to be like, especially with a back surgery, you always wanted to, remember a lot of talk. Everybody wanted the Yankees or Mets to go, or both of them to go get him. Free agent at the end of the year too, coming off that surgery. So, and somebody's going to give him a big contract, but it is a risk, right? That, but if you don't, I think he's in that position where he says, well, I'm just not taking a small contract, I'm taking a big contract. Or else I'm not going to your team. So, yes, you're talking about Tracy. Yes, she does. Very important job helping the healthcare industry. Tell Katsi to weigh himself in kilograms. Oh, jeez, Jack, that's terrible. I don't know why I'm laughing at that. It must be my allergies or something. Let me see here. Add any new supplements to regimen? Great question, Deb. No, actually, somebody from Survivor contacted me. Chelsea, who was on the show. We used to joke around about my smoothies that I had. I was using peanut butter powder. I can say it isn't peanut butter; it's peanut powder in my smoothies back then for a good source of low-fat protein. And I haven't been using that lately. So my smoothie has got the sea moss, the chicken bone broth, organic chicken bone broth, avocado, put a little ice in there with it, and some collagen peptide and a protein powder of mine. So I was getting the smoothie was becoming a meal, and I didn't, I'm really more looking at it as a good source of protein. Sea moss is really good for your skin. Everything collagen peptide is as well. So it's pretty easy to make. Throw it in that little blender and blend it up. Tanaka was the Yankees pitcher. That's right. Yes. Am I correct, right, Susan, that some people say he could get an option of getting surgery, and he did not. And I think it seemed like he was pretty good. So, wait, what? Debbie. Yes. I go places now and people could care less. I play hockey. I want to talk about Survivor. Last week, was it last Wednesday? Yeah, last Wednesday was, again, I think I told you guys this. I was at the Garden at the Chase Lounge and talking to a bunch of executives from Chase, and they were talking about my career. The guy was introducing me, talking about my career, and then they brought up Survivor, and everybody was all excited. You went Survivor? They didn't say anything about playing hockey. That's something to do with my career. Let me see. Yeah, Bernie Pront was awesome on Full Change, really great. And Timmy Hart told how Nikki almost killed him. Yeah. Yeah, Bernie Pront was, I knew he had quite a personality, but man, he's really like a very motivating guy as well. Like goes out, speaks to a lot of people. He invited us, his wife invited us down to his boat in New Jersey. Go to the boat. So we're going to do that. We actually may do a show there. Tom Jones, Tom Smith, and I. That's right. Thank you, Susan. I knew you would know. So yes, he did pitch through that. Tanaka. I think is he back in Japan now too, or he's not with the Yankees anymore, right? Yeah, Bernie Parent was really good. Tim Hunter was good too. You know what I really was impressed with Timmy Hunter was that he didn't settle for just being a fourth line guy, although that's what he was. He really embraced that, but really embraced the whole role of fourth line guy, even helping young kids when they would come into the team to say, okay, you're on the fourth line. Don't complain about this. You're in the National Hockey League. Now let's get to work, make you a better player so you can move up in the lineup. It was pretty impressive that, sometimes it's hard to be a fourth line guy. Everybody's got pride and they want to play more. And you don't ever want to limit yourself. And he didn't do that. I think he was a really good fourth line player, willing to accept the role as the fourth line guy. Yeah, he's good. He's a good speaker too. We've had, I'll tell you, the Full Change podcast. Again, anybody can watch that on all the podcast platforms. Please like, share, subscribe, all those things. But I've been really pleasantly surprised a lot of the stories. Some guys, it's funny, like with Darren Langdon, for example, we joked around that, his full change to the regular life was just seamless, right? He just went back home. He's got Langer's bar there that he's got going. He went back. He was a simple guy. That was it. Some guys have a tough time with it. I saw an interesting story. Somebody posted online with Walt Podubny, and Walt was a teammate here in New York, and we lost him, unfortunately. And it was a pretty sad story how his life went after hockey. He really kind of drifted away from the game, from what I understand, and so we lost him. So it's sad. Again, you talk to some of these guys, and we've mentioned these guys are all very public about their stories. There's like 5 guys I think that we talked to so far about attempted suicides, and it was just. The good thing that came from it was that they kind of, like you look at Richie Pilon, for example, but all the guys are like that, Malarchuk, Corey Hirsch, everybody, really changing other people's lives as well, because they went through and they realized there's an opportunity to help other people, particularly kids, not limited to it. That shoulder check event that we did, Dave Maloney was the MC. That's a fantastic event. Again, a 16-year-old boy took his own life, I guess about a year ago up in Darien, Connecticut. And the family put together this shoulder check. And shoulder check, it was this one event that a lot of the current Rangers played in. But it's also an ongoing, I don't know what they call it, ongoing agenda, I guess you call it, where it was great when Dave got up, had everybody in the building. I know he said this, but it was really kind of getting goosebumps going, where he had everybody in the building get up, all the players on the ice, and reach out with your left hand and put your hand on the person to your left, obviously, put a hand on their shoulder. And there was 3 things Dave said. I can't remember what it was, but it was kind of like, hey, I'm here for you. Do you need any help? Those weren't the exact words, but it was the idea was to actually, reach out and touch somebody. It's particularly aiming towards young kids. There's a lot of problems with mental health issues with young kids, depression. So to really show, very often it's just showing those people that somebody's there that cares about them. So that's what the shoulder check was. I really wasn't sure what shoulder check obviously is a hockey term. You check somebody with your shoulder, but it was, you're checking in with somebody by touching their shoulder. So it's pretty cool. And I think it's a great thing for all of us to remember, we've talked about it a few times, that you just, even if you don't know the person, just reaching out to them. And I mean, obviously it's awkward. Maybe sometimes if it's a woman towards a man, you want to come across since you're putting yourself in an awkward position. But at the same time, I joke around. There's this one elderly woman walking the city months ago, and she was having a tough time. She's kind of going uphill a little bit. She sat down on a chair. I thought, geez, I'm going to go over and ask if she's okay. She yelled at me. She's like, yes, I'm okay. Get away from me, kind of thing. So what? It was no big deal. It's just, never know. Maybe she just needed help. But she didn't want any help. She was, let me see here. A year ago, I read Dave Semenko's book, and he wrote he would never fight Nick. They were good friends. I was shocked with that because Semenko used to attack Tim Hunter. Yeah. Well, those Calgary, Alberta battles that they had, the Battle of Alberta, man. Yeah, they wanted to kill each other for sure. Well, Podubny had great hands. He's a great Ranger for 2 years, and actually infiltrate him. Yeah, great player, really skilled player, intelligent guy. So when I heard, it's public. He took his own life as well. He was really having a tough time dealing with again.
it's odd sometimes who you think would struggle after the game is done. Some guys are able to just like John Tonelli. I look at guys like John Tonelli and Dave Maloney, guys that they're intelligent guys, but they really just shifted into a new career. They're actually prepared themselves while they were playing for the career they're going to have after the game. So when the game ended for them, they just moved right into their career. Like I admired Dave Maloney a ton because he was working on Wall Street. And I think he had at least 1 year, maybe 2 years left on his contract with decent money. He played up in Buffalo, didn't want to put up with it anymore, and just retired from playing and went off and worked on Wall Street and had a great career there. And now is off to another career in broadcasting. So I admire those kind of guys, John Tonelli, and several guys have done that. Have done very well after the game, and others have really struggled. And sometimes it's there's the feeling that the game has kind of forgotten about them. I just think that I don't think the game really owes us anything once we're done. That's my feeling about it. You can, in my case, I somewhat stayed in the game. It was still the game as an agent. So I don't know. Maybe it's different for me because I really wasn't that skilled of a player. So it was just showing up every day and doing my job, and so shifting to a new career to doing that wasn't that big of a deal to me. Are the guys that are more in the limelight or bigger stars? I think it may be tougher for them because now that part of your life is gone. Maybe I think it's partly too. It's getting past the point where you think that the hockey player part of you was that really what defined you, as opposed to saying, well, no. I mean, that was just like from my case. It was 11 years. I'm 65 years old, so it's 11 years out of a 65-year-old life that I played in the National Hockey. I played hockey before that in college and all those times too. But I've had much more time in my life not being a hockey player. And I hope that my goal has been to not be defined as a hockey player. I've talked before, I'm proud about it. Glad I did it and everything, but it's time to move on and do other things. Right? But again, you still remember the great times, when we were out doing these events, Ranger fans and everything. They remember all the great teams we had, great games, and brawls, and all that. Nah, probably was another Peter now. But yep, not quite as big as Peter, but that same kind of player. Yep. Let me see here. Debbie. Similar to military police. Yes, that's very true. Good point. Yeah, it's a lot of the camaraderie. We had Ken Hitchcock on the show, and he was talking about, I think it was during the Olympics or whatever, where he was coaching, was going to go down to the locker room. He got to the locker room door and he heard the team really talking the same way the coaches were going to talk, and realized he did not need to go in the locker room. The players in the locker room had it. And when I was talking, I was getting the goosebumps because those are some great times. You remember the great games of the playing and all that kind of stuff, fun. But those times in the locker room, especially, you've got, most teams are like this, but you've got a group of guys that are all pulling together in the same direction. And especially even going through a bad time where we're not playing well, sometimes that even drew you even closer. Sometimes, there's fights, physical fights, yelling at each other. But, I remember times when those things happened, when it was all said, like I've talked before about George McPhee and Steve Richmond having a stick swinging battle on the ice in practice, no helmets, and they were going after each other too. And they were good buddies. I think they were good friends before, but became better friends after. So I think they wrote, I believe I'm correct in this, they both wrote letters to each other. And Steve ended up working, he still works for Washington now, but George hired him in Washington. So they remain close friends, but you see when they're swinging the sticks at each other's heads. It was so, and the thing is too, there's no referees. Coaches aren't jumping in because they don't have any equipment on whatsoever. So it's the players that got to jump in and stop it. But when the two guys swing sticks at their heads, it's kind of like you're taking your own life in your own hands. And we got them all settled down too. And it's funny, we took them in the training room, and so Bill Murray or Bob, I can't remember. Murray was the trainer's name, great guy. He didn't see the incident, so he didn't really know. It wasn't fair to him. But once we got him, probably half the team had to separate them and get them. The trainer, they had to go in and get stitches because they cut each other. At least get patched up and have the stitches for sure. And then so the trainer goes, "That's all right, I got him, no problem at all." And we should have stayed. We walked away and started throwing chairs at each other in the training room too. So. It's funny now thinking back. It wasn't that funny at the time. We were like, what is going on? But we were so used to, like, that was no big deal. I think I don't know how much it goes on now. I don't think it does as much. But again, the game was so much more physical, especially like really all these type A personalities. We all want to win. We all want to play well, and things aren't going well. Tempers. I hit Anders Hedberg one time in practice way too hard. I don't know what I was thinking about. And Mark Pavlich, he was his line mate, but he just kind of he came after me, and I realized, oh God, I should have done that. And again, I can't remember what, and I really don't think I was mad at Anders or anything like that, but it's just, I know they probably were mad at myself the way I was playing. So, oh yes, Susan, thank you. Thanks, Susan. So the cooking show idea, Susan found the casting directors for the cook does all the cooking shows. There's a form, you go online and send in an email. I just did that the other day. I'm assuming, I bet you I won't hear back from anybody for a while with the summer the way it is. A lot of those people kind of, this time of the year taking time off. So I'll probably, if I don't hear back from them, I'll resend it. I also got contacted by the casting director for Survivor. I've got a new reality show coming out. And I thought he was asking me. I just read through the text message briefly. I thought he was asking me to be on the show. And I read, yeah, I'll definitely do it. And he says, nah, Tom, I'm asking if you can find some other hockey players. He says, they want fresh meat, he says. So they've used me. They don't want me anymore. So, which makes sense. Yeah. I'm actually, so I'm reaching out to a few former teammates. And actually, there's, I get a connection through this documentary that I'm a part of. Elvis Stoico is a figure skater from up in Canada. Does a lot of stuff now. He's racing cars. So I reached out to him through this connection and asked him if he wants to do it. I think he wants to do it. We're going to talk probably this weekend. See, yeah. So yes, the cooking show idea, and I'd like to get that done. Yeah. Let me see. Stan Fisher. 2 years ago, Stan Fisher wrote of you, Tom, Laidlaw isn't mean enough, but he can fight. Well, I don't think that was. Other people disagree about that. And a big part of it was that I came in and shown that I could fight, and Herbrooks didn't really want me fighting that much. I mean, it wasn't that he didn't want me fighting at all, but I was that kind of guy. He wanted to be able to put me on the ice all the time. I was that kind of player, the defensive guy. David, you magical man, you. Good morning. Corigliano. Kenny, Keith. Keith is a veteran, works with our good buddy Mark Puttenvink. Keith, I believe Keith was at the swim last weekend at went fair. Well, we did talk about that. We talked about it on Monday with thank you, Keith, again for your service. Good man. But we talked about it with Mark on the Monday show. That event went well. There's over 200 people swimming, men and women. They had close to like 70 or 80 Navy SEALs, and the rest were EMT. There's some athletes there as well. Should do buddy games. I haven't seen that one. That sounds cool. That's. I mean, I think I've told this. I know I have. Amazing Race. That's how it all started. The Survivor stuff for me. They asked me about Amazing Race. They'd gone to the NHL. The NHL reached out to individual teams, and then the Rangers came to me, asked me about Survivor. They're about Amazing Race. I couldn't find anybody around my age that was capable of doing it. The conditioning level was not there. So, the whole problem. I'm not a fan of heights, and I watched some of the Amazing Race shows, and they had one show where they're hanging under a gondola that's dangling out on a wire over top of some ravine or whatever. Now they're all tethered, so they're not going to fall. But I'm like, oh God, that'd be the hard part for me. It'd be fun to do it. And then they reached out to me about that. What is the Bachelor for Seniors? Whatever they call it, Golden Years, or whatever it was. Yeah, it'd be 65. So it's all 65-year-old women. They're fine people. But I think the goal is, I think you have to be that wanting to get married again. I've been there, done that. So, what is going? Oh my goodness! My God, forgot today was Thursday, and you're on. Forgot. Oh, Barry, I was worried about you too. There's another veteran. A lot of veterans. I love those guys and girls. I was so impressed with Ron Gressner as he aged and didn't look to carry the puck. He played meaner and fought more. His last 3 years. Yeah. He did fight more. Yeah, I think it's because he was married. He was grouchier. Yeah, he was a battler. Yeah, it is true, and he's a good fighter too. Wally Thacker. I go with my son Keenan. All right, have a great day. All right, Wally. Stay clear. Don't let Larry Melnick ruin your life. Man, that's gonna be a hard 2 days. He wants to come and stay here. Like again, he's got to adjust to my lifestyle. I can't be changing. Again, there's no air conditioning, there's no cable TV, there's no perfumes being worn. Don't put stuff in our hair. Let me see. True Carlo would be at the glass watching his fights. Yeah. Oh, that was quite a scene. She'd get up, walking around. Everybody's hooting and hollering. Oh man, that was her business. So she was a model. It was all about just that was her business. It was about her, people looking at her. That was who she was. So I don't know if I could handle that. My wife. Wasn't Howard Stern? Howard Stern was just in love with her too. Wasn't like he did a movie, right, where she was featured in the movie too. Oh, she's a very successful woman. Also, you gotta be, it isn't just looks, right? You gotta be very driven and disciplined to do well in the modeling business. Yeah. If he thinks I'm cooking for him too, like I'm not gonna be his chef. Oh, maybe I will. I'm gonna cook anyway, so I guess I'm just doubling up things. But you better not be complaining about what I cook. If I'm cooking salmon, just eat it. Right? Don't be complaining about it. Maybe we'll film a lot of that. That'd be interesting. 2 days with Tom and Larry. Yeah, that's the name of the show. 2 days with Tom and Larry. All right. So, big night tomorrow night. Maverick, my grandson dog, is spending the night. My son and his wife are going down to the city. Her parents are in town. So I'll be babysitting Maverick. We'll be partying. Maybe I'll just, what I'll do? I'll just let him run around outside with no leash on it. So, part of the crowd. This is what people do here. Yeah, that'll be interesting. Yeah, he loves his grandpa. He comes in, he's crying and everything. But it's funny though, like he's got he's there for like 15 minutes. Time to go. Goes, sits at the door. I said, okay, well, I guess he's got like in his home with my son and his wife. Like he doesn't. A lot of dogs want to sleep right beside you. So he's got a place downstairs that he likes to go sleep. So he'll go down and sleep down there. Very independent. So he'll be sleeping on the bed with me. Apparently he doesn't sleep well. He moves around a lot. So, but we'll be fine. See you next week on the A's game. I got to support my team, win or lose, since we're being a fan. Yes, you are a good fan too, loyal. All right, Susan, have fun. Intelligent creature, you. Susan works. I don't think work. Is she retired? I don't know. I'll ask her next week. All right, everybody. Unless we got more questions, it seems like everybody's it's summertime. Hey, you believe what is it, August 23rd or something? Is that what it is? Man, this is a conspiracy. Another conspiracy theory of mine. Like somebody's making the clocks go faster. Let me see. Gold's just smart. He would be a good role model for the other dogs. He doesn't bark either. So yeah, the other dogs will be barking. Oh God, he'll probably be aggravated. They've got a nice house and like that. So it's like he's got his own yard that he runs around in. So a little different here in our complex where they're trimming trees. Man, there's always something going on. Then once summer's done, then they're tearing down the clubhouse there where the pool is and everything, redoing that. So, okay. So let's vent a little bit. So I came home the other day and there's a red car in my parking spot. So we have assigned spots with numbers on and everything. And you can't just park in it. It's, because it's the person's spot. You can't say, well, it's open, so I park in it. Well, no, it's not. It's even if the car isn't in it, it's your particular spot. So I come back and there's a red car in my. Now I see this young woman, walking a dog around that I've never seen before. And I gently honked the horn to figure maybe somebody just ran in, maybe somebody's delivering something at a unit, and they'll just let them know I wasn't mad or upset, wasn't yelling. And nobody comes out. So I see this girl walking the dog. Didn't think too much of it because I'm standing right. It was clear that I was standing right there trying to figure out, trying to park my car. I didn't park in a spot. I parked in front of the red car. And she's just walking the dog. I think, well, I can't be her because she'd say something, wouldn't she? So I call down to the management, and they tell me, well, there's another spot right beside that's open, so we'll just park it at. And then when they move, then you move the car. That makes sense. And so I just write a little note on a very polite note. I said, sorry, but you were parked in my spot. The spot is taken. And the girl that was walking the dog just comes walking out and gets in her car, doesn't even like, wouldn't you think that you would say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I parked in your spot. Let me move it for you." No, didn't get into that. So just a little venting. Not the end of the world. I just and again, because it's a young girl, you can't say anything really. You can't argue with her. I can't say, "Well, didn't you see me waiting here?" You can't do that. So yeah, there's a lot of that going on, right? No, she doesn't live there. I don't think she lives there. In fact, I know she did because she had New York plates, I believe. We're in Connecticut. Yeah, I just feel like there's, there's still, we've talked, there's fantastic people in the world still. A lot of great things going on, but there's more and more of this attitude that I'm just going to do what I want to do. I don't care how it affects anybody else. That's my feeling. Let me see here. Sam Rose was great with you and Tom Smith. It was great. Jimmy Gordon was so classy. Yes. Yeah. Sam is just a great person too, right? Like his voice, when we was on the show, I don't, obviously his voice is his voice. But when he started talking, it's like I was watching TV. I guess it's just, you get that distinctive voice. You hear it so long. What a great person too. Like just like humble and thanking other people and and like I've said this so many times, I just laugh when I say every time I see him, "Come on, you got to be retiring soon." And he knows it's coming all the time too. He says, "No, Tommy, I'm going to do it forever." And I think basically the MSG has said to him, "Listen, you're here as long as you want to be here." And why not? He just such a class act. Hold on, people are like, we had Barry was late today. Dougie DeVito is just getting here now. I guess better late than never, right, Doug? Magical creature. Quiet times, not much going on. We did a couple of those. The Rangers, Pure Hockey, and the NHL do some fantastic things. They have this program where the junior Rangers have this thing where they have kids come to the Pure Hockey stores. They have to make appointments and everything. They get fitted for all the equipment there, stick, whole bit, I think skates as well. Yeah, skates as well. And then they ship it all to and then they have like 10 weeks, once a week of being able to get on the ice, learn to skate, learn to play. And it's like $350 it costs. Like normally that stuff's like thousands of dollars. So it's great. Pure Hockey does that. It's a fun event. They have us go as alumni there and kind of greet the kids and have fun with them. And so it's pretty cool. And again, they don't, they're so young, they don't know who we are. It's more the parents. And some of them are young enough that they don't remember either. But it's funny because they give us these cards, and on the back of the card, it's got a picture. So the front of is like you playing in your gear and everything like that. And the back is like a headshot. So I've got the mullet going on my mugshot there. And the kids look at it, I'm bald now. And they're, "That's not him. He's lying." A lot of times the kids you can see whisper to the parents, like, "That's not him. That's not him." Tom Smith's great, funny dude. Yeah. Yes, he does like to pick on me a little bit. At first, he was kind of, you can tell, "Is it okay, Tom?" Like he was, yes, you can definitely pick on me because I give it back. So, yeah, and that is the thing sometimes too, because I got to be careful because sometimes I come back and it's, he's got the balding head and everything like that, and it's got hair on the side, and Peter Boyle, I think I call him, whatever. And at first, when I did it, I could tell it dug a little deep with him, but he's used to it now. So. Yeah, Deb, that's the way to enforce. That's the way. Yeah, the enforcer. I'm going to go Deb, the enforcer. It goes me in late, fellas. Yeah, no kidding, right? It shouldn't. Good point by you, Deb. It should be just a free pass to show up whenever you want. That's not setting a good precedent. You're here on time. Why shouldn't everybody else, like Dougie DeVito or Barry? Oh man. Hockey. Yeah, has been great. Yes, a great program. So we had. It's awful. I forgot his name right now. It's terrible. We just had to do a show with him. Got it, heads it up. He was actually part of the program and now heads it up. That's all. Malik Martin, I think it was. Yeah. Leg man. This is a leg man. Yeah. Leg man 14. Leg man. Where do you think that comes from? It's like he's got great legs, or he likes to look at women's legs or other people's legs. Maybe it isn't women's. Leg man. Gresh and Larry. Just that show kind of. I don't know where. Gresh was not interested in doing it anymore. Larry was kind of hit and miss. So, when is the next Rangers alumni event? So I think the next event would be the golf tournament on the 18th at Westchester Country Club. Bringing in Craig Patrick. You're honoring Craig Patrick. So bringing a lot of guys that have not been here. Mike Rogers hasn't. I don't know if he's been here. It's been years since he's been here. Guys like that are coming in. We're trying to get Pierre LaRouche come in again. He was not available for it, so it'll be a fun event. Deb, put that $50 in my tab. It's like the Ron Duguay thing back in the day when he'd be late to practice on purpose. He wrote a check. I think Nicky was the fine collector, and I think he wrote him a check for like $500. He says, "This should cover it for the next few times." That was kind of one of his downfalls with Herbie. It's funny because I watched an old game, another game, and Dukes was, you could tell, and even Phil commented on it. He was doing the color commentating now. Dukes was kind of not feeling too good about things because Herbie turned on him. Herbie turned on a few guys there, like Dave Maloney. He liked it first. That went down. Craig Patrick was a good fighter's coach. He loved to fight. Yeah, well, he liked tough teams. You know, he coached us that year. So 80-81, when we had the big brawl in the playoffs against the LA Kings, he was a coach and GM. So remember, Craig was like kind of, I don't know if it's accurate to call Herb's right-hand man, so to speak, with the Olympic team. And then he got hired by the Rangers. Like all the old guys like Freddie Shiro and all those guys who were running the show. And then when they fired that whole group, they just handed the team over to Craig, general manager, coach, everything. We didn't have a great regular season, but we had like a good run on the playoffs. And he was a good coach that way. Like he really cared about the team a lot. Like very emotional guy. He would, when we'd have meetings sometimes, he'd get tears in his eyes. Like he was so emotional about the team. I loved it because he cared so much. Some guys that kind of thought it was a weakness in him. It's just he's fantastic, man. God. He was skating around practice one time, and I was doing this thing where I was a goofball. I was shooting pucks at people's feet. It's just a little aggravating thing. It wasn't going to accomplish him. Craig was just going around a corner, and he's crossing over, and it's perfect timing. You don't try to time it to do that. And the one foot that was on the ice he's kind of on the edges, on the outside edge. So when I hit it, just pushed the foot right up from underneath him. So he went down, landed on his head, and got himself a black eye. And he had to go to a meeting in the city right after practice. I felt so bad because that's not the intention. You're just doing it. It's just an aggravating little thing. You're just hitting his skate, but you're not planning on knocking him down. Best thing he just had to. Oh, he got up. He had the big shiner on. Oh man. Yeah. Craig Patrick just put Doogie with Hospodar and Nicky and Bubba and Kotze at the key piece. Yeah. We had a tough team. Yeah, we had. Man, I watched those games. And it switched really quick, right? When we had that success. So usually it doesn't happen. Where you have the success we did in the playoffs, you usually come back with pretty much the same team. We've gone to the semifinals that year, beating LA, St. Louis, and then ultimately losing to the Islanders. So then obviously when Herb came in, he didn't want that team. He wanted, and Herb was going to get what he wanted. So he got rid of, Kotze and Eddie Hospodar and those guys, and brought in like Rob McClanahan and Pav. So we went from being a really tough team to I'll tell you what though, like, maybe we weren't as tough fighting wise, but we never, like, you watch those games against Philly in the playoffs and that, we never backed down. Philly keep on taking bad penalties. Haven't seen Tracy yet today. You better make her pay up. Oh yeah, no kidding. Yeah, because the way she wants to be treated, she should be fined double, right, for the way she. And just at least Barry and Dougie DeVito, like, they show up and apologize. Sorry, I was busy. Whatever it was, I forgot. Yes, her went from two. Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I know, but if you watch us play, like the team, that 84 team we lost in the first round to the Islanders and Kenny Morrow scored. I'll tell you, that team, if you look back at the team, and it was what's his name? Clark Gillies said it, that he thought that if we had won that series against them, that we could have won the Stanley Cup that year. So yes, it sure is a different team. And I know Ranger fans like those big physical players, big physical teams. But the way he constructed that team, Bob Brook came in, James Patrick came in. They still brought in like guys, Larry Patey. There was it wasn't a fighter necessarily, but a grittier guy. We had guys like Steve Richmond who would stick their nose in there. Bubba was still there. So the team that he put together, man, if the Islanders weren't there. Yeah, I think we want to cup that year at least, and maybe more, because like you watch those old games against. I watched an old game the other day, bored watching games, playoffs against the Flyers, and I think the Flyers had the best record in the league. We beat them 3 straight. I think that was 83. I think it was, and that last game I think we won like 9-3. Just and they were doing all their stupid stuff. And we just kept on playing. The Robbie McClanahan was fantastic. So yes, I know it was a different team than what the Ranger fans wanted, but as far as being a winning team, it was a pretty good team. Remember what, like James Patrick, man, can he skate? Well, I forgot how good of a skater he was too. Very good. All right, everybody. The summer is winding down. Again, if you get a chance, please go to the Full Change podcast. It's on all your podcast platforms. Please like, share, listen, subscribe, all that stuff. Very happy with the way that's going. So everybody have a fantastic weekend. We'll see you next week.